How Pakistanis cope with stress. Psychological stress has become an unavoidable part of our daily lives. Pakistanis, in general, are exposed to several psychosocial stressors. These stressors are caused by the prevalent psychosocial problems and issues of concern in the country, for example corruption, illiteracy, poverty, energy crisis, unemployment, social injustice, dearth of health facilities, gender-based discrimination, etc. Many Pakistanis seem to be deprived of their basic and fundamental needs, for example clean drinking water, fresh air to breathe, hygienic and balanced diet, timely sexual satisfaction, etc. Social relationships lack genuine love and support. People feel insecure about their lives and property. Wisdom to live a purposeful life is seen very rarely among the citizens, who mostly lack civic sense and a sense of social responsibility. Political crises and instability make the situation worse for the overall psychosocial well-being of the citizens. The same psychosocial stressors, being unaddressed professionally, reflect the prevalence of different mental disorders among Pakistanis. The classical definition of stress refers stress to any environmental, social or internal demand which requires the individual to readjust his usual behavior patterns. Stress, in a general perspective, can be defined as a psychological and physical response of the body that occurs whenever we must adapt to changing conditions, whether those conditions be real or perceived. With reference to our daily hassles, we may encounter with certain stressors. Environmental stressors arise from extremes of temperature and humidity, inadequate lighting and ventilation, noise and vibration, and the presence of airborne contaminants, such as dusts, fumes, and gases. Occupational stressors are associated with too much or too little work, overpromotion or underpromotion, conflicting job demands, incompetent superiors, working excessive hours, and interactions between work and family commitments. Social stressors are associated with family life, marital relationships, bereavement, etc. Stress affects the overall well-being of a person. It has several negative effects on one's emotional and physical health. The strategies to cope with stress surely reduce the negative effects and improves overall well-being. Strategies to cope with stress cannot always be the same for a person. People tend to modify stress management strategies as they grow older. People face several psychosocial stressors as routine. Numerous studies have reflected the prevalence of psychological stress in different cultures. The sources of stress may include the difficulties in relationships, responsibilities related to work, problems faced by children, daily hassles, etc. Holmes and Rahe have provided a detailed list of life stressors. The intensity of stress may differ from person to person. For some, the daily stress is acute or discrete, and for others it may be chronic. According to Wheaton, acute or discrete stressors include life events, for example life transitions such as starting school, moving from a student to a full-time worker, starting a family, job loss, divorce, separation, relocation, midlife crisis, or retirement, and traumas, for example the injury or death of a loved one, major accidents, acute illnesses, disasters, physical or sexual abuses. In contrast, chronic stressors might include role strain such as demanding work, family-related responsibilities, and conflict among an individual's roles, and other ongoing life difficulties, for example one's own chronic illness, one's partner's chronic health problem, prolonged unemployment or homelessness, disabilities, discrimination, and ongoing interpersonal problems. Lazarus and Folkman defined coping as constantly changing cognitive and behavioral efforts to manage specific external and/or internal demands that are appraised as taxing or exceeding the resources of the person. The coping strategies associated with stress, likewise, may also differ from person to person based on certain psychosocial factors. Ring felt that people can be divided into three broader categories in association with their stress management styles. These categories included excessive reactors, deficient reactors, and restrained reactors. Kobasa has associated coping strategies with the actual and perceived social support a person receives from the society. Some researchers have linked coping strategies with behavioral and emotional responses to deal with stressors. Leisure theorists have emphasized the role of leisure-related activities in reducing stress. The objectives of leisure, for example relaxation, compensation, escapism, and independence, are associated with stress reduction. To be close to the natural environment has also positively associated with reduction of stress. Stress, if not coped appropriately, may develop several serious physical and mental problems, for example cardiovascular disease. Stress is managed differently by humans in accordance with their lifestyles and cultures. Earlier studies have revealed that coping with stress differs from culture to culture. Hence, there are certain studies which have found similarities in coping styles among different cultures. People, based on their psychosocial preferences and socioeconomic conditions, may opt for individualized mechanisms to reduce stress. The findings of earlier studies have come up with diversified strategies people may apply to cope with stress. Women, according to Day and Livingstone, get more involved in discussing their stress with friends and family as compared with men. Religious activities have been frequently documented to reduce stress and increase hope and comfort. Television has also been considered a mean to alleviate boredom and stress. The use of music for therapeutic value has also been well documented, and relaxing and sedative music has been positively associated with stress reduction. Stress may also cause a drift in food intake, for example under and overeating, and food intake, therefore, is positively associated with stress reduction. Food, moreover, can also contribute to the energy requirements during stress. Studies have also reported a significant increase in food intake due to stress. Nicotine intake and smoking has been significantly associated with stress reduction. Leisure and personal hobbies have also been considered as an important buffer to reduce stress. Humor has been reported to reduce stress and enhance the enjoyment of positive life experiences. Experiments have concluded that dance and yoga contribute significantly to reducing stress, and dance reduce stress through strengthening the immune system. Sexual activities, apart from their conventional purpose of reproduction, reduce stress and provide pleasure. Consumption of internet has also been positively associated with stress, and it has determined that internet can effectively provide social support which helps in reducing stress. Internet, moreover, also provides stress reduction interventions through different websites for which people may consider internet as a mean to reduce stress. Selly suggested that stress may be good that is eustress, or bad that is distress. The world without stressors would not be very interesting. Stress provides opportunities for people to learn and struggle. As it is unavoidable most of the times, people should focus on the effective coping strategies so that they could avoid the negative consequences. With reference to the cultural differences in stress coping styles, Dr. Sukoon did not come across any Pakistani study which could have provided a detailed picture of different indigenous trends in coping with stress by Pakistanis. He, therefore, designed a study to investigate the coping strategies Pakistanis commonly apply to reduce their stress. The study included 500 conveniently selected Pakistanis. The participants belong to different cities of Pakistan, including the 5 major cities that are Islamabad, Peshawar, Lahore, Karachi, and Quetta. A shortcoming of the sampling of the current study was the exclusion of the uneducated, as it could require personal interviews by the researcher, which could not have been possible due to limited resources. A specific questionnaire was designed for the study to record the possible prioritized strategies people may use for managing their stress. The strategies which were found prevalent among Pakistanis included discussing stress with others, analyzing stress and planning to reduce, getting involved in self-destruction, performing religious practices, watching TV, listening to music, falling asleep, walking, taking food, playing games, driving, reading and writing, smoking, using internet, shopping, getting involved in different hobbies, performing sexual activities, and dancing. All these strategies were mentioned to reduce stress by the respondents themselves, as they were provided with no directed choice of strategies. Discussing stress with others was found to be the most commonly applied strategy. It was ranked number 1 by the respondents. Females were found to be comparatively more involved in discussing stress. Discussing stress was found equally common in married and unmarried. People having jobs seemed to discuss their stress with others comparatively more than the jobless. Adolescents were comparatively more involved in discussing stress as compared to adults. Educationally higher qualified individuals were found to be more interested in discussing their stress with others. Analyzing the sources of stress and planning to reduce it was the second top-ranked strategy. Females, married, people on job and people above 40 years of age seemed to analyze and plan comparatively more as compared with their counterparts. A highly significant difference was found for analyzing stress and planning to reduce it when it was measured by the educational qualification. Individuals with higher educational qualification, that is university graduates, used to analyze and plan significantly more than school or college graduates. Self-destruction was ranked as third among the 18 strategies revealed through the study. Females showed a highly significant difference in self-destruction as compared with males. People on job, surprisingly, were found to be involved more in self-destructive behavior as compared with jobless, and the difference in this regard was highly significant. Similarly, adolescents did self-destruction more and projected a highly significant difference as compared with adults. Unmarried and less educated projected self-destruction more as compared with their counterparts. However, these differences were not statistically significant. Performing religious practices to reduce stress was considered the fourth choice by the respondents. Males, married, people on job, people above 40 years of age and less educated reflected to perform religious practices more to reduce stress as compared with their counterparts. All these differences, however, were not found to be statistically significant. The fifth choice was to watch TV to reduce stress. The jobless were found to watch TV significantly more as compared with people on job. This difference was recorded with a high significance. Females, unmarried, adolescents and university graduates seemed to watch TV more as compared with their counterparts, hence these differences were not significant. Listening to music to manage stress was ranked as 6th out of 18 strategies. The jobless, by listening to music more, projected a highly significant difference as compared with people having jobs. The trends reflected that female, married, adolescents and university graduates were more prone to listening to music to reduce stress as compared with their counterparts. These differences, however, were not statistically significant. Falling asleep to reduce stress was considered the 7th priority by the respondents. None of the understudied groups showed any significant difference in this regard. The trends, however, revealed that females, married, jobless, adolescents and the lesser qualified liked to sleep more to reduce stress as compared with their counterparts. The differences, though, were not significant. Going for a walk to reduce stress was the 8th priority of the respondents, with no significant differences among the understudied groups. Females, unmarried, jobless, adolescents and university graduates reflected trends to walk more as compared with their counterparts. These differences, however, were not significant. Taking food to reduce stress was found to be a strategy at 9th place. Females, unmarried, jobless, people between 20 and 40 years of age and college graduates seemed to enjoy food more for reducing stress as compared with their counterparts, hence with no significant differences. Playing different games to reduce stress was the 10th preferred strategy of the respondents. Males reported to play more and reflected a highly significant difference in playing games to reduce stress as compared with females. Similarly, unmarried were involved in playing games more as compared with married. This difference was also highly significant. The trends also revealed that jobless, adolescents and college graduates were more involved in playing games to reduce stress as compared with their counterparts, hence these differences were not statistically significant. Going on a drive was the 11th priority of Pakistanis to reduce stress. Males were found to be more prone of driving to reduce stress as compared with females, with highly significant difference. University graduates, similarly, used driving as a mean to reduce stress more as compared with school and college graduates. This difference was also highly significant. School graduates did not drive at all to reduce stress. Other trends in this regard reflected that married, people on job and adolescents were fonder of driving to reduce stress as compared with their counterparts, hence they did not reflect significant differences. Considering reading and writing as methods to reduce stress was the 12th priority of the respondents. School graduates did not consider this option at all to reduce stress, hence the university graduates projected to have a highly significant difference in this regard by using this strategy more than school or college graduates. The non-significant differences in other groups revealed that females, unmarried, jobless and younger adults took reading and writing as a strategy to reduce stress comparatively more as compared with their counterparts. The 13th ranked strategy to reduce stress was smoking. Males responded to smoke more than females with highly significant difference. People on job, similarly, projected more smoking to reduce stress as compared with jobless. This difference was also highly significant. Married, people above 40 years of age, and educationally lesser qualified reflected trends to smoke more to reduce stress as compared with their counterparts, hence with non-significant differences. Using internet to reduce stress was taken the 14th choice by the respondents. The data revealed that females, unmarried, jobless, younger adults, and university graduates used internet more to reduce stress. However, these differences are not statistically significant. People lesser qualified and people aged 40 and above did not use this strategy at all to reduce stress. Shopping for stress management was an option which was placed 15th by the respondents. Females used shopping significantly more than males to reduce stress. This difference was highly significant. No significant differences were recorded in rest of the groups for shopping. Married, jobless, adolescents and college graduates, however, reflected higher trends in this regard. School graduates did not use shopping at all to reduce stress. The 16th strategy to reduce stress was getting involved in different hobbies. Females used hobbies to reduce stress significantly more than males, and this difference was highly significant. Married, jobless, younger adults and college graduates were found to be more involved in hobbies to reduce stress as compared with their counterparts, hence with non-significant differences. Being involved in sexual activities to reduce stress was ranked 17th by the respondents. Married got more involved in sexual activities to reduce stress as compared to unmarried. This was recorded with a highly significant difference. Another highly significant difference in this regard was found in people aged 40 and above who used sexual activities more to reduce stress as compared with other age groups. Adolescents did not choose this option at all to reduce stress. University graduates used sexual activities to reduce stress more than school and college graduates. This difference was also highly significant. School graduates did not choose this option at all to reduce stress. Males and people on job reflected comparatively higher trends to opt for sexual activities as mean to reduce stress when compared with their counterparts, hence these differences were not statistically significant. Dance was the least prioritized area to reduce stress. No significant differences were found within groups in this regard. The trends, however, revealed that married, jobless, younger adults and college graduates liked dance more to reduce stress as compared with their counterparts. These differences were not significant though. Dance was not at all an option to reduce stress for people aged 40 and above. The current study, with its unique findings, has contributed to the existing body of scientific knowledge by reporting the prevalent indigenous strategies in Pakistan people use to cope with stress. The study has also ranked these strategies in accordance with the preferences established by the respondents. To conclude, it can be easily stated that Pakistanis mostly apply constructive and positive means to reduce their stress, hence taking professional advice on stress management is still not a choice for Pakistanis. The study suggests the stakeholders to raise appropriate awareness on mental health-related issues within the country, and researchers desirous to investigate further should also include the uneducated within their samples. Thanks for listening. To read the entire paper, kindly visit www.dersakoon.info.